Hello guys, I'm Eddie Caddy. You are watching BKCHAT London. This is Great Yarmouth where the actual weekend that will be happening. We've got a beautiful apartment, so get together with your friends and make sure you get your packages. But for now, I don't want to show you too much, so you have got to go. Bye bye, see you in the summer. Okay.
Is sexual assault or rape ever the fault of the victim?
No. No.
Do you know what?
There's no other angle. No.
Can I just put create a scenario? Because I had this conversation with a colleague at work once. She asked me if there was ever a case where she was assaulted or raped, how would I feel? And I was like, oh, I'd be upset. And then she said, what if every day I came into work wearing really skimpy, like inviting clothes? How would you feel about it then? I said, I'd be upset. At the same time, a part of me would think, could you have avoided this by toning down what you're wearing? I think it's difficult to go black and white, yes, no, because situations like that, a part of you is honestly gonna think, with the clothes that you're wearing, it's okay for a woman to be a woman and express herself, but sometimes, like for example, I'm not saying it's justified for someone to be a predator and pounce on you or whatnot, but there are those situations where someone might, you might be tempt the wrong person. Should a woman be raped based on what they're wearing? No, of course not. However, can a woman be raped based on what they're wearing? When you look at the world, this world is messed up. There's people that are opportunistic, there's predators, there's people that feel a sense of entitlement over you. You need to understand that. You can go to court, they can ask you, what were you wearing on the day you were attacked? How many sexual partners have you had? They could possibly throw your case out saying that you might have been asking for it. So I do feel like you have to have responsibility in the way you dress, where you're going, how you're moving, how you're planning to stay safe.
That makes it sound like it's self-perpetuating, as if to say that if somebody dresses a certain way, that it's their fault. That's like saying that, oh, if you're rude to someone, they should come and shank you or shoot you in the head. I'm not saying it should. I know, that should be the direct outcome. That's what it's. I'm just creating a scenario. But what I'm saying is that's what that line starts to sound like, as if to say.
I'm not saying that everyone that gets raped wears skimpy clothing. I'm not saying that.
There has to be some sort of universal line of wrong. That's what I believe in, innit? So, I mean, if somebody is dressed in a certain way, you think it's over the top or too revealing or whatever, you can look at that and disapprove of it. But for me, in any individual's head, it should never go as far as thinking, oh, do you know what? I'm going to enforce myself upon that person because of the way they're dressed.
Unfortunately, Gogo, not everyone in the world has the same same line of thinking.
But then the question is, the question then is it that person's fault though?
Let me say it can be their fault. Reason being, let's say, all right, cool, you work in a strip club, yeah? Okay. Cool, you're not gonna go dressed in the clothes you're gonna go to a strip club to your 9 to 5, are you? No, in an office. Yeah. You understand? So in that respect, there may be certain areas where you probably wouldn't go dressed a certain way. You understand? Now, you knowing that information, you're dressed that way, I'm now going to that area, am I asking for trouble or not?
For ladies that work in a strip club, me personally, there's nothing wrong with working in a strip club. However, I don't personally feel you would travel to a strip club wearing bra and panty. You understand? Because then I wouldn't say that's asking for trouble, but we're not living in a reality where people can do that, you understand? Because we have got vicious people out there who don't have good intentions.
So I just want to get, before I say that you said something, yeah? You just basically said that if someone works in a strip club, for example, and they are wearing skimpy clothes, their breasts are out, their bum are out, that basically in that instance, it can be justified as to why they've been raped. Is that what you said? This is the thing. I think that the main thing we have to look at is perception, yeah? Society's perception on how women should present themselves, or society's norms and values for a woman, yeah? Well, if a woman is dressed in a way that is deemed provocatively, it's one thing. If a woman is dressed, if a man is dressed in the exact same manner, so if a woman's got her top off, this comes back down to even basics, yeah? Like when a woman is breastfeeding, people feel like, oh my God, their breasts are out. But if a man walks around topless, it's fine. I feel like this notion of if you dress a certain way, even if my vagina is out for the world, yeah? This perception that if your vagina is out, you're wearing this or whatever, that you have basically asked to be raped, or you've been asked to be even sexually harassed, is problematic.
All right, cool. Are you gonna walk down the road butt naked? the chances are you may get some attention which you weren't really looking for. That's my thing.
I will say it can be the fault of the victim from time to time. Now I'm going to go into that. Now, Sia was talking about how we dress. Even if I'm butt naked, don't touch me. Do not touch me. However, it can be the fault. Let's be honest. I don't know how it works for you guys, because men do get raped, but I don't understand that. Girls, yeah? There's certain guys from time to time, they've said certain things before you've linked them. They've said certain things. They've given off certain signs that things might go a certain way. Still, lo and behold, you've gone and put yourself in a certain position. Those areas, I'm not saying what he's done is right. He still shouldn't touch you. But when it comes to the amount of power you had to determine how things turn out, you fucked up. And in regards to you using your discretion and making the best decision for yourself, you fucked up. You didn't. But in relation to how I dress, what I say, anything like that, you can't say that because of how I've carried myself, it gives you right to now come and force yourself on me. No. Ladies, you lot know I love you. You lot know you're my sisters, and you lot know I'm going to be as real as possible as I can be with you. From time to time, we have contributed to some issues in our lives. I'm not saying that it is our fault. What I'm saying is that we have contributed. Our heart, our spirit, our soul, our mind told us no, no, no about a certain man, and we told ourselves yes, yes, yes. Things got out of hand, and then boom, we end up in a situation.
What's the difference between you walking with your fanny out or you walking into a situation with linking a guy? I don't see the difference.
The first one with how I carry myself, that's how I want to carry myself. It's my body, it's my life. I do what the fuck I want. Just because I'm dressed like that does not give you right to come and step to me. Yeah? So the first one is my decision. The second one, yeah, you flopped because it's still your decision, but you've disregarded the signs.
The question didn't ask you, did you have some input into the person's decision? The question is saying, is it your fault that you were raped or sexually assaulted? So wait, let me finish. The reason I say point blank, no, it's not your fault, is because even if you are dressed in the most provocative manner, even if you then go and put yourself in a situation, whether it be out of stupidity or naivety, in front of a guy who is that way inclined, yeah? Nobody's end product, or nobody should have to deal with the end product being. Let me finish. Nobody should have to deal with the end product being rape. If that does happen, yeah, we cannot place the blame on that person and say it's your fault. Maybe there are steps you should have taken, or maybe there are things that you should have considered to avoid being in that situation. However, to say that it's your fault means that one. Let's look at the word fault. Yeah, that means we're placing the blame squarely at that person. That means you're removing the blame from the person who raped you.
I'm bopping on the road. Yeah, there's cars moving up and down, and I've run into the road. It's not nice that I got hit, but it was I slipped. No, this is. I made that. So what? So who are we blaming now? The guy who's driving, or you're blaming me? What I want to take you back to is I never said it was their fault. I said they have contributed to an extent.
Yeah, we're talking about probabilities and possibilities. If you run into the road blindly, yeah, you know that the probability a car's gonna hit you is very flipping high. Yeah. If you're dressed inappropriately and you go into the bedroom with a guy, you're not thinking that the probability this guy's gonna rape you is very high.
In life, yeah, one thing we need to know and understand, responsibility is closely attached to power. So yes, so many people can do all sorts of things to us, but in order for us to have power and make a change, we need to recognize our role in that situation. And that's why I gave an example. Yes, there's cars crossing. Yes, the driver is in control of the wheel, but you are also in control of what you do next. So in relation to the topic that we're talking about here, it is not your fault. Someone has come and done something to you, but if you examine the situation and think, okay, possibly what could I have done differently, that is how you then highlight your power, and then you can make a change.
If I jump into a lion's cage and it eats me, it's my fault, because the lion has no control. It's an animal. It doesn't have the ability to make the decision. These men have the ability to make the decision. So provocatively, whether I'm influencing them, there are some people who are crazy. Most rapists
aren't crazy. They're just disgusting, horrible people. So this idea that he doesn't have the capacity, he has the capacity. He either can or he can't. He chose to. Let's forget about the people that may be off kilter. Let's forget about them. Let's just think about the people that are just horrible and want to rape people because they can. You can't sit there and say, oh, you don't know that if he was in a... No. At the end of the day, there was a decision to be made at that moment, and you made the decision that you made. And listen, I'm not disputing that sometimes, for example, I see a post and it says, women, she's butt naked and there's a plaque and she's saying, I could be butt naked in your house, you still don't rape me or have sex with me. That's perfectly valid. So yeah, you shouldn't be going to a guy's house, lying in his bed butt naked and being like, don't touch me. That's moronic, that's stupid, you shouldn't do that. But at the same time, to say then that because you have done that, you are now to blame from that.
No, would you place some blame on that person if she did that?
I wouldn't place the blame on her. I would say listen to what I'm saying. I will acknowledge how she contributed. But just because you contributed to something doesn't mean you should be the blame for the outcome.
No, that's the thing, Raya. When you're saying the blame, you're saying like, yeah, it's solely them. I'm saying some blame.
We're talking about blame, like blame is belongs to one person or it's one thing. Blame can be shared across many.
You're laying there butt naked on the bed. Okay. You're telling the guy, don't touch me.
Okay, do you know what I can blame them for? I can blame them for putting a guy in a situation where he tries to make a pass. I can blame them for putting a guy in a situation where he tries his luck. I cannot blame him for forcing her to have sex with him. The question is about rape, right? I can tell her it's your fault that he thought he could try with you. No. I said she contributes to the outcome possibly. Yeah. I have to say to you, baby girl, it's your fault that you put yourself in a situation that has given this man the impression that he can try it with you. But if he tries it with her, listen, if she's butt naked on his bed and he tries it with her and she then says no, it's his fault because she said no.
I don't care, bruv. If you can go and rape someone, you're possessed by the devil. You actually need deliverance. Like, that's what you need. It's nothing to do with. I don't believe a woman can do anything to make a man want to rape her. Like, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it regardless. Whether I'm wearing hijab, whether I'm wearing shawl, whether I'm wearing pants, like, you're gonna do it. Personally, like, I just don't see how you can even feel comfortable using the word fault and then victim in the same sentence.
It's never the fault of the victim, ever, in my opinion, because the two words that are used are sexual assault, which is somebody doing something against someone's will. Rape, same thing. Do you understand? One more extensive than the other. Do you understand? Now, for me, I get where you're both trying to come with, looking at both sides of who's taking blame and is somebody else accountable, with what she does. But in bringing it to the realities of our generation and what's going on today, like, certain perspectives and certain perceptions of how women are viewed, it's not the same for all men. Do you understand? Some men come from different places where they view women a certain type of way. And the way you dress makes them feel a certain type of way. It makes them have a certain type of entitlement, have a certain lack of respect. Now again, these types of men, in my opinion, are wrong for whatever causes of actions you take if you see somebody who's dressed, sexually or, nice. What I feel like everybody's trying to explain is that when you know the devil that be, when you know that, there are men like this that might live in your vicinity, your society, your environments, is it then wise to still dress the way that they don't understand? Do you get where I'm going? Is it okay to, because it's almost like as if you're putting yourself in harm's way. The flip side of that is, this is my fucking body. This is my fucking identity. This is how I dress. So nobody should tell me how the fuck I should dress. And even if I'm putting my fucking pussy in your face, unless I say touch it, don't fucking touch it. There's two types of dudes in this world. Niggas that chase pussy and niggas that don't. Do you understand? If a man that doesn't chase gal, is interested in girls, you could put the pussy in his face all day long. It's a different kind of urge. Guys that are not, girl, when you do it, like, before you even say yes, you know what I'm saying? So it depends on the type of guy. Like, blood, it's not that deep. There's situations where, okay, she's busting open, she's giving you all the signs that say go. But my G, unless the light is green, you can't go. There's situations where women scream rape, and it's not actually that. Like, we're talking about the blurred line between playing hard to get and actually wanting the guy. So, the chase, the guy will want you, you act like you don't want him, oh no, and then the guy is persistent. Girls like a persistent guy that's chasing. So when you blur the lines, I think we need to start educating our girls to also know how to say, no, I don't want to go further than this. I don't want you to, continue with your advances.
Let's be real, we're all men. We're talking about this objectively, like we haven't been in this situation. There's been situations where girls have come to my house, and some girls, unfortunately, in this world that you're talking about that we live in, are teasers. Some girls are teasers. They get a kick out of it. There's girls that have butts, man, and they've come with the intention to be a tease, to come and do all sorts of bra offing, pants offing. I don't know which kind of offertory is happening here, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, and a guy goes forward and tries a thing, they're like, no, we're not doing nothing. Now, this is where what I think Lucas is getting at, the balance in your head has to come into play. Now you have an option to make, or a decision to make, where she said no, you know this girl's a tease, you know she's not doing the right thing, you know, no, hear what I'm saying, you know she's dressed provocatively, it's her fault that she's dressed provocatively, and that you're trying to ting with her, but at that point where you know she's saying no, and as a guy you have to think about that, because guys know what the situation ends up in. You know girls scream rape. So if you know that, at the point where it starts getting sticky in your head, if you have to question it a little bit, let me finish. If you have to question it a little bit and think, is this girl really messing with man? Bro, just exit the thing.
You see when you're talking about guys, you're talking about us as a collective. Let's be honest, in today's generation, we're not a collective. 100%. When you're talking about us, let's say all of us here, we're all moral people. We will never rape a girl, go that far. It will not happen. But not every guy are like us. That's true. You understand? So the example you gave, given the next man out there, bro, he's going true. Do you think he cares? If he cares, a girl say no. Okay. A girl has given him the sign, so whatever's coming out of that girl's mouth, he's not listening to.
I kind of get what you're trying to say.
Yes, what I'm trying to say, you need to take some type of accountability, because not everybody's the same.
Guys don't know how to take a naked woman laying in front of them. They may go a step too far and not understand that there's certain boundaries there, and stop means stop and no means no. Whereas obviously some guys are gentlemen and they know how to treat a lady. Even though she may be laying there naked, they understand that no means no.
Everybody likes this, play hard to get thing. Nah, man, stop it. And the guys there like, and you did that, you really want him to, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm talking about, innit? And I think the lines get blurred between those signs where you're giving the green light on that, like babes, whatever, but you don't understand that, listen, the arousal you're giving my man, you don't know what kind of mental state that is to him. There are girls that lie about this shit as well.
So I was in a relationship with someone, we were in a relationship for a couple of years, and then obviously during our relationship we was having sex. When we broke up, we were still having sex for a period of time. So it got to a point where like, I wasn't really feeling him, but I didn't really want to have sex with someone new, so I was still having sex with him. So one time, like, he was like saying he's gonna come to my house. So we was obviously talking over text and talking about like being intimate and stuff, whatever. He came to my house. The day he came to my house, I just weren't on it. Like, I just wasn't on it. So he came and then obviously tried to have sex, and I was like, nah, I'm not on it. And he spazzed, like, went mad. And I was thinking, right, like I wouldn't say he was trying to force himself onto me, but probably from the outside looking in, he was trying to force himself onto me. So I think what we also need to think about is that there's people that have this perception of comfortability. Like, I've been having sex with you. I've had sex with you already. So who are you now to turn around and say you're not having sex with me? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's this boundary that's already been crossed. The boundaries, there's no boundaries no more, because we've had sex, we've been intimate, we've done all these mad things now. So you're not thinking that I'm your property. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes it's not like Lucas was saying, you don't have to go all the way to the extreme. Even someone probably touching your bum where they think, giving you a little feel up. That's sexual harassment. That's assault. Just because you think your bum is like this and you're touching it, that's assault. How dare you think that just because we've had sex before, that my body belongs to you? If I've said no, regardless of whether we've had sex 5, 10, 15 times before, once I said no, it's no. Like, I can understand as a man how you must feel, like being turned down by a girl that you regularly have sex with or that you was in a relationship, but you need to take it on the chin, mate. That's not my issue. I just feel like I could no longer have sex with this person, especially because I was no longer attracted to the person. You need to understand that. Feelings change, things change, times change, get with it.
Back home in Nigeria, where I'm from, there's a lot of men who are wealthy, who believe because of the position that they are in their life or in their position, that they are entitled to being able to have sex with someone without their consent, or being able to, say, listen, I want that woman, so bring me her. Do you understand? It's not okay. No matter what. If a woman says no, it's not okay. But you have a lot of men who have that type of mentality, who come to a foreign country or come to a different, land and try and incorporate that mindset and think they can follow that through in a different country. Whereas back home in Africa, I'm not saying it's okay, it is not okay, but over there it's calm for them to do that because that's what they do. They're the boss, they're the chief, they can do that. Whereas here, it's unacceptable. Though it's still unacceptable back then, it's like they can get away with that. Whereas here, it's like never, no. At the same time, back to what the question is it the victim's fault? It's never a victim's fault. If I say no, even up until the point where I lie back and I'm naked and you're on top of me and I change my mind, you need to halt and step back. Point blank, period.
Two things to me that was alarming for me was about pushing the fault on someone, for example, we use the example on their clothing. So that was one thing I wanted us to keep in mind, yeah? And the second thing was, I thought maybe on the man-dem side, we have to be very careful of what we say in terms of not borderline justifying the action of raping a woman because of the clothing thing, yeah? So I'm gonna link the second thing back to the first one, innit? So let's talk about the clothing thing, yeah? Alright, cool. So we had this long conversation about skimpy clothing and all of this, that, and working in a strip club and XO and whatever, innit? Okay, cool. So question, carnival. When you wear your costumes, which most times out of 10 is like bra and pant. I'm saying you're literally 3/4 naked. Let's be honest, yeah. So it's not a question to answer now, but I'm just saying let's just put that in the mix of when we're talking about skimpy clothes. That is it skimpy or is it not skimpy because it's traditional clothing? What is it? Because there's places that they don't wear clothes, and ain't no one getting raped there. It's just the norm. Over here is where we put on clothes. That's just one thing. But I'm just saying. Aside of that, I just thought, if we're talking about skimpy clothing, when you look at carnival, what are you going to say about that? That what, every female there that's on a float deserves to get raped because what, they're in clothes like that?
The point that Corey made was at a strip club, he expects women to be in a certain type of clothing. So he can understand, but he was like maybe on the way there or in a different environment.
Let's say you're walking down the alleyway wearing bra and knickers, and there's mad negativity there. You're gonna walk down there.
It's part of the culture. Same way when you go to a strip club, you expect to see girls dressed in a certain way.
Let's just say someone didn't get changed from the carnival and they're walking down the road, yeah? I'm just saying, like, we're saying it like, oh, if you're in this situation, you're bound to get raped or this, that, and the other. But let's say, like, not saying it as in like, oh, if you're here, you're gonna get raped. Like, you go down the road, as it, bam, is getting it. No. But I'm saying, in terms of like where it can happen, how it can happen, or even defining rape for what it means.
There's been instances that are well documented or that we might know in our personal lives of people crying wolf. Yeah. Now, that's working to the detriment of this whole fault issue, because there are a lot of girls that will provoke a situation, get into a situation where the boy doesn't understand that no is not enticement, that it's an actual no, because it's gone a bit too far, and then come and scream rape after. Or to the extremity of that, there are girls who will have sex with a boy and actually want to have sex with him, but then the boy's not on it afterwards, and they come and scream rape. Now, we're already in a culture where I'm gonna say by and large, like there are perceptions of rape that people don't take it very seriously. Some people don't take it like as a serious crime, like, and it's kind of a misogynistic view on the issue. Like, oh, like it's rape, mine ain't it? Like, let's not get it twisted. We're all getting fed information every day. Man, I'm hearing girls who are screaming rape and it's false. Yeah. Like people are taking things to court, they're getting thrown out of court.
There was a documentary that came up, yeah. I personally know some people who have done that, and it was on Channel 4. It was on Channel 4 News where there was a documentary that came out about a girl who went out to a club, and because she didn't want to get into trouble by her boyfriend, etc., she screamed rape because she was with two guys. It's quite everyone. If the more I'm speaking, it might start to click on to the I'm talking about. She screamed rape. She went as far as going to the police station. She was with these two guys. Don't get it twisted. They didn't have sexual intercourse, nothing, but they were just, and because she was the fear of her boyfriend at the time, because she didn't want to get into trouble for whatever reason, stupid, like she then screamed rape. She went as far as going to the police station, wasting police time, getting forensics all over her, getting her phone taken off of her. Those men got arrested, those two men. They were held in custody for a certain amount of time. Do you understand? Now, what saved them is the fact that mobile phone, the signals of their mobile phone as to where they were, where she said they were completely different. I know that there's a lot of women who do screen rape, but I will say that the law are working well in terms of for girls who cry wolf, because she did get a custodial sentence for that.
There's a lot of women out there who do cry wolf. Now, I'm not condoning rape, because rape is wrong regardless. No matter what, if the circumstances are true, then it's wrong. But at the same time, there are a lot of women out there who do cry wolf, and we need to also, they need to be reprimanded for that, because it's not right. Do you understand? Because you put away innocent people for something they have not done because of your own convenience, or because you didn't want to get into trouble because of X, Y, Z. So rape is wrong. I don't condone it, but we need to also understand there are a lot of women out there who do lie. And I believe those women should be punished.
There are a lot of high profile cases where people have been found guilty of rape, and then other innocent people have been accused of a whole line of rape that they never committed, and nobody ever remembers that they didn't commit it. If you go court allegedly for rape, when you come out, everyone will be like, "Oh, so you're that guy who raped the phone." That's happened to so many people. There are certain guys who then go into a situation with a girl, and then if it's play and it's enticement, she's like, "Oh, no, like what you said, innit? Stop it." He thinks, "Oh, nice, we'll play, innit?" Then when she finally says no, he's like, "Oh, she's playing about anyway, innit?" Then he goes through with it, and then she comes out and says rape, and he's like, "Oh, whatever, man. You're just acting, like you're just trying to get away from the fact that you wanted to have sex, and people now know." Now there's a blurred line between who do we blame, because that's what I was saying to you. Like that's what I was saying to you. Whose fault is it then? Because you can't say it's the girl's fault because she got raped.
This is what I don't understand. Remove the people who are crying wolf here. Why do you want to be in a situation with a girl where you've had sex with her, and then she wakes up the next day, really deeps what happened, and then thinks, "I didn't really want to have sex. I don't know if I really consented to that, so therefore it's rape." Why do you want to be in that situation as a guy? The answer is you don't. It's rhetorical.
With women knowing all of this going on, are you still going to do the same things you were doing 10 years ago? Certain things that women were doing 10 years ago, they can't do now because things have changed. So my thing is, just let me land, please. My thing is, I'm not saying it's their fault. It will never be their fault. But knowing the information you know, you should empower yourself. Not all men are the same. Not all men are going to treat you the same way. We're not all gentlemen.
You as a man, somebody says to you, "Oh, you know what, Corey, you dress this way, and you know it's." For example, I don't know, you wear hoodies. You wearing hoodies like goes against guys that wear t-shirts. They're gonna yank you up. Like if you're trying to create an argument for, do you get to see where it leads to the rape? Then not really, because at the end of the day, you are forcing yourself against someone's will. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and when you said, you know, be in a certain way, dress in a certain way, like we have an identity. Like if that's how you fucking want to dress, my G, my girl, then dress the fuck like that. Let me finish, yeah? People come over into the country and now they don't understand the laws that be. Do you understand that? Which means you can dress however the fuck you like. Like this is England. Yes. Do you understand? Now, again, African cultures, Asian communities, Asian cultures as well, like they all share these values, which is, you know, the man is, you know, empowered and he can take what he wants and does what he wants. And that's why I'm saying you have to be careful with what you're saying in terms of like, yeah, well, you know, if you dress a certain way in circumstance or situation, like, bruv, regardless. Here, now, with what we live in and what we're doing, like, my G, we know people that have been, I know people that have been accused wrongfully, that they've gone scot-free wrongfully. And I know people that are in there wrongfully, in my opinion. Now, do you get what I'm saying? From that context, the blame is on that person, is on the supposed victim. Do you get what I'm saying? But in the eyes of the law, that she's been, you know, they've been convicted and they're behind bars. I had this conversation with somebody here, and they said that they'd been raped. And the first thing I said is, again, because of my environment and, you know, cry wolf and people actually being raped and whatnot, I have to ask the question, like, okay, what happened? Like, how was it? I'm very honest. I want to know, you know, because I don't want to carry away a feeling when, you know, it might be not be the case or whatever. And she said, she got raped, but she enjoyed it. So I'm now like, wait, how can you get raped but enjoy it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you get raped but enjoy it? Like, if you've enjoyed it, then clearly it's not rape because your mind has allowed your body to. Let me finish. Your mind has allowed your body to accept it, innit? Because sexually works with your mind.
You can fully enjoy it, but it can still be rape. She literally could have been drunk, bro, and said to him no. You see the same situation you're explaining? She could have said no.
I didn't say that. This is my scenario. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say nothing about alcohol. This is
No, I am.
this.
I'm saying
Yeah,
it-
but I'm giving you a scenario. You're bringing alcohol into my scenario. That doesn't fit into my scenario. The scenario is a real life situation. Like in this experience, there was no alcohol involved. Two people, they're talking, they're liking each other or whatever. They're getting at it. And my girl's like, listen, he's forced himself on me, but I enjoyed it. So I've not, like I said, I've asked her like, how did it happen? And in us going back and forth and talking about it, I found out this might be a bit somewhat educational. Like I found out that the way she processed it is very different to how a dude would process it. Especially when I was hearing it, which was, they were cool. She liked what he was doing. She liked the attention. She didn't want to have sex, but she liked the fact that he was touching him. She didn't want to have sex, but she still allowed him to touch him because she liked it. So I'm now like, okay, but if you didn't like it, why didn't you just say, stop doing that? And she was like, because I liked it. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense then.
Look at this girl.
Some people are like that where, to them, they don't want to have sex. They're so in tune with their bodies and how they feel that, boom, they're just on it. Do you understand? And they don't know actually how to say no. They might even be scared of the guy's demeanor.
Deep down, with her not going to the police or her reporting, I think deep down she didn't really think it was rape. I think after me and her had a conversation about it, I think she now became more aware of certain aspects that she didn't think of before, which was, you know, maybe I did actually like this because, you know, we actually ended up having sex, I didn't report it, and it's something that I actually quite enjoyed. You know, I mentioned the words like, okay, did you tell him to stop? Did you tell him that he's hurting you? Did you tell him that he's making you uncomfortable? She said she wasn't uncomfortable. Again, you know, some people might not know how to voice out these things that they feel within themselves, or some people might just not know how to, you know, understand what they're going through themselves personally, whether it's feelings of lust or me wanting to be in this situation. You know, some people, I don't know how some people think in it in certain situations. To me, it just didn't make sense how you could enjoy something, but then say that, you know, it potentially could have been rape to you.
We're not saying women go out and gallivant and behave foolishly and do whatever you want and be completely unaware of the world and the environment that you live in, yeah? No one's saying that. So you know what you were saying about things that's happening, why haven't women begun to, you know, just kind of alter things to protect themselves a bit better? And the thing, and although that's perfectly logical, the reason why it's dangerous territory is because the more we change to protect ourselves, the more different ways the more excuses and reasons guys will find to attack us. So we start lowering our skirts. Soon it will be, oh yeah, you shouldn't be showing your knees. Then it's, you shouldn't be showing your shins. Then it comes to, we all have to be dressed. So it's almost like if you start policing something, someone then will come out and create a new boundary. You then have to step back. So although yes, women should rightfully do things to protect themselves, it's kind of unfair to say that in order for us to not get raped, we should protect ourselves. If I want to go out and get drunk, pissy drunk, right? If I want to go and get pissy drunk and I want to walk around the street by myself, let me finish, man. It's really annoying, but I don't interrupt people when they're speaking. Let me finish. If I want to walk around pissy drunk, right, by myself, don't get it twisted. I'm not advising you to do that. I'm not saying we should. In fact, I would advise against it. But the sad reality is that we should be able to. So at some point, we need to stop telling women, stop doing this, stop doing that, stop doing this, because it can't happen. I will give my daughter the same advice. Don't walk around late at night. Don't do certain things. The fact that I have to give her that advice in the first instance is what's sad. And what I'm saying is, we can really, I get the argument, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact, oh, accountability this, fault here, fault there. It doesn't change the fact that the rapist is to blame.
If you're going out to have a good time, you're obviously looking sexy, you're looking to go out, do you know what I mean? So you can't say, yeah, I'm gonna get pissy drunk and not know your environment and not know who you're around and not know how you're gonna get home to say, yeah, I can do what I like and you're not gonna be a victim because you're already in a vulnerable position, do you know what I mean? There's predators, like men are predators regardless, like these rapists are looking for the most vulnerable person, and if you're sleeping on the pavement, ding, 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 ding.
This is London, whether we like it or not, this is London and there are rapists and they're all bad people. Yeah, cool, we know that. They are psychos, we know that. They're men, right? Let's just say the rapist is a man. Men are visual creatures, let's just say, yeah. Men are visual creatures. If I now put, let's just say I have two sweets, one is open and one is closed. Which one are you gonna pick up? The closed one, right? You're gonna pick up, you're gonna eat it because it's clean, right? Let's just say it's the one that's open, yeah? Only a desperate person is gonna take it. Hence, rapists are desperate, let's just say, yeah? So for you now to say, yeah, I'm not saying that the woman is a blame. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, going off what Ayo said, if you dress a certain way, you're giving off a certain image. That is it. Society, that's how it's put out there, that's how it is. We just have to take it. I just feel like, let me land.
So I just feel like as a woman, we say all these things like as Raya said, like, oh, don't go out late, dress like, cover yourself, wear baggy clothes, this, that, and the other. If you choose to go out, let's just say you want to go to a club, you want to enjoy yourself with your girls, you want to dress nice, you want to, look fleeky, do you know what I mean? But just make sure that you don't cross that line where something could happen, do you know what I mean?
It comes down to also responsibility, because the point as Raya you're making about, oh, I should be able to go out and get pissy drunk and do whatever I want. There's also, you need to be aware of your surroundings. If, there's an alleyway and near my area, and I know that a lot of criminals hang about at that alleyway, and I'm walking home and it's late at night. Responsibility, like, the world is gonna tell me you should be free to walk wherever you want, do whatever you want, walk through the alleyway. If they come and rob you, say no, and then they're in the wrong, and it's fine. Wisdom, understanding of surroundings, of context will tell me, I know that this is happening. I know that there's a higher risk. I'm not saying that if you go round, you're not still gonna get robbed. You can still get robbed. Of course you can. But I've lessened my chances. I'm not going out and saying because of the way you dress, you're gonna get raped. It's not a direct correlation. Anything can happen. A cab driver can be in your car and can lock the doors and think, you're in my car, you're my property now. Not everyone thinks like you. Not everyone thinks this is right, this is wrong. As Esther said, there's men in Africa that feel a sense of entitlement. And there's men that have come to this country with that same sense of entitlement, thinking,
I can do as I please. Now, you use the terminology that the people that are rapists are desperate. No, sometimes it's not even desperation. Sometimes it's about empowerment. Because there are men out there who have families who are actually they have a wife, they have children, but they actually go out to become serial rapists, and so it's sometimes sometimes it's about empowerment and not desperation. That's like why I refer to Africa back home, or and you even use you mentioned about marriage. Sometimes marriage as well, like you get married and certain cultures say, okay, because we are now married, you are now mine, you are my body, your body belongs to me, and even though I may not want to have sex with you, because you believe my body belongs to you, you feel like you can just have sex with me even though I don't want to, and that's why it's wrong. Like you say, if your mum tells you not to touch fire, you keep touching it, you get burned. Simple as. But we cannot now say because we continuously go there, and in terms of the rape analogy that we're using, it is our fault. Some people get raped within their own household.
Majority of people get raped by people they know.
Sometimes it's within, the crime is being committed. Wait. The crime is being committed within, you hear about disgusting things
Uncles,
like
friends,
dad,
colleagues.
uncles, friends, colleagues, godfathers. Like, so we need to not try, we can't now say because someone's dressed sexy, they kind of brought it upon themselves. No, it's wrong.
No woman is immune to getting raped. That's it. If you've got your eyes showing and everything else is covered, or you've got a short dress on and your heels and you're going to the club, doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? No one is immune to getting raped. However, I feel like no woman is solely to blame when it comes to rape. Yes, she might be in a vulnerable position, but that doesn't give you the right to force yourself on her. Do you know what I mean? No man is allowed to force yourself on anyone, regardless if you say she liked it or she didn't say no, or she didn't enjoy it, or she just laid it. Doesn't matter. If she's not feeling it, she's not feeling it. Get off. Do you know what I mean? So when boys she didn't say no, shut up. Doesn't matter if she said no or not. You can see that she's laying there and she's not enjoying it.
There are a lot of shy girls out here. There are a lot of girls who aren't strong and overpowering. There are a lot of men who are strong and overpowering. A shy girl could meet a very nice looking, dominant, strong man, end up in a situation with him where them two are lonely, and he can end up forcing himself upon her to the point where she doesn't have it in her capacity to open her mouth and say no strong enough. This is where the situation then becomes difficult, because whatever you want to call it at that stage, women have the benefit of hindsight, because she could wake up in the morning. She might genuinely enjoy that go with process. Yeah, she could wake up in the morning, really deep the situation, and then think, I didn't really want to do this. Like, my man actually put himself onto me, and then it's rape. You can't tell her it's not. Strong, big, dominant guy meets shy girl. Okay. They end up in a situation, your lips in, but you don't really want to have sex with this guy. And then he starts touching you, and you're a shy girl. I'm trying to think about it. Think about it in terms of size. You're a 5'3" shy girl. This 6'4" guy's on top of you, and you're trying to figure out how to tell my man. You've never been in this situation before. Wait, let me finish. You've never been in a situation before. You're trying to figure out how to tell my man. Not really. Yeah. So you've gone with it now. Then in the morning you've woken up And in hindsight, you thought I didn't really want to do this. I wasn't comfortable with it. In your head, you've been raped.
Why is the guy at fault?
When that story now comes out, yeah, we have a very difficult decision to make. How we place. I didn't say the guy's at fault.
Saying it's rape.
Wait, no, because that's no.
No, he said
Yes, yeah. Because do you know why? Do you know why? Because once the girl decides she's been raped, you can't tell her she hasn't. I know plenty girls of different ages who don't think at any point in their life that if they get into a situation with a man, it's gonna lead to force because they've never had that. If you're walking through the hood and you know, there's man them posted up on the block, you're not gonna walk there because you know there's man them there. Now the problem is, a lot of girls don't know there's man them there. They're walking down that path thinking, la da da da, this is kind of nice, and then 2-2s, 5 man pop out the end. How are you supposed to use better judgment in a situation where you're not aware of the danger? Yes, everybody should know what to do or should use their judgment a bit better in situations, but I feel like that's very idealistic. Some people just aren't aware of the dangers that are out there, and in those situations, it's hard to apply better judgment because you've never been in that situation before, and you don't expect the repercussions to be that serious or to be to the extreme where somebody wants to rape you.
Going off the story, I said it fits in perfectly to what you were saying because she didn't know how to say no. And she ended up enjoying the experience, and then obviously me and her had a conversation, she said she got raped. And the first things I said to her, so what did you say? What are the things that came out of your mouth? And I said, did you, because this is what I always say to my sisters or whatever, did you say, don't touch me? What are you doing? No, are you about to rape me? Stop. No. Yeah. No. Get off me. You're hurting me. I'm in danger. Keywords that even when you're in a state of alpha male or you're trying to do your thing, when you hear them, you're like you snap out of it because exactly what you said. It's the fine lines because you've actually engaged in this act, and the other person is complicit in this act with you, not knowing that you didn't want to. They didn't know you wanted to, but they didn't know you didn't want to, and you didn't do or say anything to stop them from that.
Sometimes girls come to your house here and you're proper not on sex at all. Not on sex at all. The girl will jump on top of your dick. Most guys won't class that as rape. No one's gonna be like, oh yeah, she raped me, yeah. But technically the guy got raped.
You like that?
Oh no! Nah! Hold on, wait!
No! I'm gonna get headlocked. No! I don't believe it! In my opinion, no girl is going to jump on you and put their fanny on your dick without you saying, you know what, I want this. Secondly, we're men. Your dick does not rise unless you're aroused.
You wake up in the morning. In the morning. You wake up. You not wake up and the wind blows. Like this when you wake up, bro.
Are you a fucking mad? Like I can smash this fucking place. If the breeze of the wind is nice, I'm up. That's it.
Lucas is saying that he can't be raped. I'll give him a quick example. He's laying in his bed with his girlfriend. He's half asleep. His girlfriend wakes up. She wants sex. He says casually, half asleep, nah babe, I'm not really on it. Goes to sleep. 5 minutes later, he wakes up, his girlfriend is on his dick. That's rape, bro. Because you've clearly told her no, and she's pushed the boundaries and gone ahead. That's actually classed as rape, just for your information.
My brain doesn't have to like it for my body to prepare for sex.
Exactly.
So women get wet when they're raped because their body is lubricating them to stop the pain, to stop the friction. Even if they don't want to have it, like the men, there's certain things that will happen in body.
Now you're taking my words out of context, yeah? If your fanny's getting lubricated and you're getting raped, yeah, that's one thing. You're still getting raped. If you say you like it after your fanny and your liking are your emotions and your pussy, that's not rape. You said you like it, but that's what I'm saying. You're saying something else. Don't associate me with that kind of BS. Now I have to rectify that. We don't condone none of them things there.
I'll give you a scenario. Yeah, if I wake up in my house, yeah, and I don't know, I let someone sleep round, and I wake up and the girl's giving me head, yeah, I didn't give you consent. I didn't give you consent, but you're giving me head. At most, I'm gonna be like, what the hell are you doing? Get off. But I'm trying to say, if we reverse that now, if a girl woke up and there was a guy inside her, and she said, what the hell are you doing, girl? That's rape, bro.
Back home in Africa, they're gonna turn around and be like, oh, but did she cry? Why did you go there? You went and put yourself in that position, and you got raped. The person didn't say no, you didn't struggle, you didn't do nothing. Okay, cool. So in one case, everyone expects rape to be something very violent, very extreme, very like, oh my God, So dominant guy, shy girl, innit? She doesn't want to, but she's having sex. Silence is also a sign of no. You can't just, you're so scared, you can't utter words out of your mouth. So you can't say that, oh, your silence is a yes.
Well, you can't outright say it's a no at the same time.
More times out of 10, people expect it to be this massive struggle where two people are fighting and saying, say no or whatever. But sometimes you are actually like frozen in fear. So if somebody is, let's say that they're twice or 3 times the size of you, I think
being the person that is, or how can I put it? The person that is doing the action, or let's say it's not necessarily a struggled rape. Let's say that it's like persuasion, for example, and you know the person's not on it. You can see like body language plays is a part. When you say like body language, it's a language, is it not? So let's not like throw it away because it's not verbal. It's still something that you can see and read and understand. So if you as the male or the female doing the action of it, you should see whether the person's on it or not. When you're talking about this consent thing, yeah, if you want to play it safe, and even then sometimes it's a bit fucked on your behalf, you never know. I'm not saying, oh, you need to go and have a lie detector test before you have sex with the person. No, but at least get a yes in it, get a green light. All I'm saying is if she says no at any point, whether it was the dom was on, you was just going inside, you just took it out. You're about to come, fam, take that shit out and bust. Because the joke is, when we talk about rape here, the definitions for it are so different. And there's so many different things. So you can't just say, oh, you wore this, you're getting raped. Oh, you did this, you're getting raped. You did that, you're getting raped. The act of rape is I think it's penetration. I think that's what people associate rape with. A male penetrating another female, or a male penetrating another male, innit? That is not the case. Men get done by women. You get tied up, they shove aubergines up your ass. Like, it's the thing. But it sounds like a joke, but it's a real thing because people have done it, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's not talk about males raping women, but let's talk about the other side, you know what I'm saying? Because you associate it with, you're just gonna go there, you're horny, a woman arouses you, so therefore you're ongoing have sex because you've had a boner. That is not the case. You can still turn around and say no.
Does the woman being silent mean no? I actually need to know that.
One thing about having sex, yeah, with me, I like to communicate. I like for that person to talk to me. If I'm not communicating with you, then you should be like, okay, like you should even just ask, are you okay? Are you okay? Like you need to use your discretion to understand, is this person okay?
So I'm with a guy. The morning's come. All right, we've done our few rounds the night before. The morning's come. I want more. So I'm now pounced on the guy, and the guy's like, like I'm kind of semi not ready, you know. In my head, I'm thinking, fuck that, like, get ready, you get what I mean? But obviously, I've held back now. If I continued, you guys think about it yourself. Sometimes you guys want to deliver proper because you don't want the girl to talk. He could have been and said, you know what? If I push her away, it might make me look like a chief. Like, I'm not giving her the D. So let me just keep quiet and do it. Is that rape or not rape?
If you are having sex with me and I don't like it, I can push you off. I can tell you, get off. If I'm not saying those things, to me, as a man, there's a problem there. I can't actually comprehend as to why. That's why I say she should educate me. What the fuck are you not trying to get onto me for?
One vital thing that we need to understand is that you can be so accountable for your actions. You can wear the right clothes. You can do everything that's to the book, to the T, that you have been told to do, and rape can still occur. So what we need to also bear in mind is that it's not, you can't be accountable for somebody else's actions. And there are people that, like we also mentioned, that are accused of rape and they haven't done it, and that has a mental effect on their life for the rest of their life. It follows them. So I think there's no real way to advise someone to avoid rape. I think that is even problematic in itself. So to even say to someone, oh, avoid rape, that's very, very, very problematic. But all you can do, all we can do is advise people to seek help if that situation occurs and give them a few life guidelines. I wouldn't even say rape guidelines. Life guidelines to how they can move through life in the right way.